YouTube, family, friends. I had to switch it up on this video, man. Come give y'all a little bit of game. I want to give y'all my top 5 like little tips and little advice for if you ever do come to travel here to Thailand, or even whether you just visit or staying. I think these things is just beneficial information, so I want to drop this a little bit on you. Number one, the transportation. Right, you got a couple of options. You can do taxis, which I don't recommend, but if you need to, they're always available because they're always around. My thing about the taxis is you can get in a situation where they'll negotiate a price with you, take you to your destination, but then they may end up taking a longer route. And then when you get to the destination, the price all of a sudden is upped on you. So, me preferably, I like to take the boat. Bolt is an application here you can download once you're here that is equivalent to back in the States of like Uber, Lyft, those types of things. The great thing about them is the price is flat rate and it's always way less than what you would pay if you hopped in a taxi. Um, you can get the economy, which is a vehicle that's still going to be cheaper. When I mean vehicle, I mean like sedan type vehicle. It's always going to be cheaper than a taxi. Y'all seen in previous videos, I particularly will hop on the bikes. My reason for that, they're a little bit more dangerous because they drive a little reckless. As you can see, sometimes they're on the other side of the road, might even ride up the sidewalk. But the thing about it is they're always quicker to get where you want to get. And especially when it's traffic here, they can wiggle in between the traffic. So that's the benefit of jumping on the bikes. You also have the option of the bot bus, right? The bot bus, I would recommend if you looking for your location, such as like where you're going to stay when you get here, try to stay somewhere where the bot bus is running. Typically, this is like on Beach Road, John Tien over there on their Beach Road, or even where I live in the areas takes you towards the main road, which is like Second Street, takes you all the malls and all that great stuff. I would recommend the bot bus too. Thing about the bot bus and its benefits, it's literally only 10 baht, which is, pennies to the dollar. So it's another great option. Number two would be food, right? Typically, I find myself going to what would be equivalent of like a Whole Foods. You know what I mean? The shopping malls have markets here, um, which is good. You know what I mean? Not always the best option, but in some cases the quality is better. So I shop there a lot, but I'll give you an example of the benefits of going to a market, like the actual street markets versus shopping in the shopping centers. Um, I got a whole chicken at this particular location that's like Whole Foods, and a whole chicken was 300 baht. Now, this same chicken somewhere else was half the price at a street market. So that's the differences of like the markets versus going to the actual street markets versus indoor markets, like shopping centers. On one occasion though, there is the Big C market. Big C is like the equivalent back home of a Walmart. You know what I mean? They have everything from your entertainment systems. When I say that, like TVs and all that type of stuff, surround sounds, your appliances such as refrigerators, washers, and dryers. But yet they have, the food selection as well. The food there is typically cheaper than it would be if you went to the malls and the shopping centers inside of those big places. So my option of if you're looking for food is outside of just eating street food, which is always great because it's always the low price for that, would be to go to Big C. Big C is great for that. You know what I mean? As far as getting your money's worth, you know what I mean? The bargains. Number three. Number three would be the partying. Let me tell you about that. I particularly don't party too much. My usual daily life is school, gym, and just getting a little bit of like my walks in as far as my fake cardio, as you will. So That's generally my typical days. But maybe every 2 to 3 weeks I may go out, and when I do, I particularly will go where the people I know are at, like the little small circle of people I hang with. I'll usually meet up with them and go wherever they're going for the night. Um, I say partying, watch out, because that will be one of your biggest expenses if you are out here just spending money for like a vacation. Then have, by all means, have at it. But if you're living here, you want to watch out on that, because you'll end up spending a lot of money just to go have a couple of drinks and being out all night. And if you're doing that typically Monday through Friday and not just like the weekends, even if it's just on the weekends, you'll spend a lot of money doing that. So I tend to keep my days going out like one day if I ever do pop out. Save a lot of money there, the obvious. Number four would be submerge yourself in the culture. And what I mean by that is you don't necessarily have to get into the classes like I am. That was just for my own benefit, for my own, self improvement. I wanted to learn the language. I wanted to be able to communicate with the people here. I wanted to do all those great things. I think learning the language just goes a long way as far as respect and all that great stuff when it comes to showing the people the respect. I'm all about that. But outside of that, what I mean by submersing yourself in the culture is get out and don't just party when you get here. Like actually go to the temples. You know what I mean? You can hit up the tourist spots. There's several of them. You can always look those up. The tourist locations, which are always pretty cool to go look at. But try to be more amongst the local and learn the culture here and have that experience. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the greatest takeaways when you travel is learning the culture and putting yourself in those environments around the locals. Um, Outside of that, I think it opens up great doors for you too. You meet interesting people, and that sometimes they'll open their door to you to have you over for dinner and things like that. I've had those kind of experiences as well, which is great. You know what I mean? It's always great to get with the people. One of my main benefits for myself of hanging with the people is I get to try and bounce my tie off of them, and they always correct me. They always corrected me, which is great. It's helping me learn and improve. So that's a great thing in that. Well, again, learn and submerge yourself in the culture. Well, the fifth thing, if I just keep it honest about it, is just pamper yourself. Like, really get out here and take advantage. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean, the things you won't be able to do at home, like, for instance, I can get a massage out here 2 hours, and they're great massages. They might get a little rough on you, so you might want to tell them lighten up sometimes because they can leave you bruised as deep tissues and all that good stuff, massages go. But the massages literally for 2 hours is like $5, maybe $7. You know what I mean? And that's 2 hours. You can't beat that. Back home, that equivalent of having a massage for that long would run me upwards of $90 to $150. And that's, not even the kind of quality that you're getting out here unless you are visiting a Thai massage back home, which I know a few of those. I would recommend those. But just for the price, you might as well pamper yourself while you're here. Another thing is haircuts. Haircuts here, like 100 baht. You can't beat that. Typically for my style of hair, which is not as fine as, most of the people that are visiting here, I just have to show them a picture and they be like, got it. And they hook it up. No problems. I also know a local person who owns a couple of barbershops, so that's kind of cool too. So I always love to go there. Another thing when I say pamper yourself is take advantage of eating the street food. Don't just come out here and be like most people who will typically go to like the American fast food chains here. Like, try the street food. Try the local restaurants, the mom and pop shops on the corners, the ones you'll walk past at the markets. Like, their food is always amazing. It will get a little spicy, so you might have to ask them to tone that down, but the food is great. Another thing I do is every now and then, and I never did this back home, but I do it here because I'm busted in that section, is I go get my feet done. It's great. My feet always come out looking amazing. I got some bad feet. I won't say it's genetics, but here nor there. Take advantage of that. You can get your feet done as well for like what they'll consider scrubbing, you know, clean, massage, and put I don't know if it's a lotion or oil they use, but some kind of feet serum, which is great. You can get all that done for anywhere from like $10. Like, you can't beat that. These are not the best tips, but I wanted to give these tips because I feel like it would help you enjoy yourself, enjoy the culture, and make the best of your experience while you're here. I'm gonna be dropping some other great tidbits later in the series. I can't say series, but on this channel, so stay tuned for all of that. Like I always say, love, peace, and respect, and I'll see y'all in the next one, which would be great. Stay tuned for that.